Hey, welcome back. I'm Jen Evers, and I'm going to make this for my friend Terry Urban because she sent me one. Actually, she sent me two of these. One that I'd done before, if you remember, I created that from it. And then this tree one. But for right now, I'm going to focus on doing this one. I'm not sure how much I'm going to talk. I might just fast forward some of it. I'm not quite sure yet. But the first thing I'm going to do, I'm going to grab a piece of scratch paper just so I don't have to do so much cleaning up. I'm just going to ink it black, and maybe not fully black. I might leave some of that fun color of the actual die cut show through. This is Grunge board, by the way. It's kind of a flexible type of a cardboard, and it's really kind of a soft feel to it. Now I sometimes learn things the hard way by practicing this kind of stuff with you guys. And I found out that when I did one of these in copper, I actually, let's see, if I can pull it out here. I Versamarked this entire thing and did it in copper embossing powder, and it bubbled. Like, I could probably put something on there and smash it down and make it go flat, but it did warp it somewhat. So I'm going to do this one with this polka dot image. I haven't quite decided what color I want to do yet, but probably something metal. So I'm trying to work in this piece that I may put like right there, although I haven't fully decided yet. But I think that the polka dots would look really cool. So I'm going to figure out what kind I want, and I'll be back with that. Alright, I opted for this one called H Silver. It's got some gold in it and some silver. So I'm going to Versamark ink this, which is a clear ink. Put it down in here, give it a nice firm push because I don't know how wet my Versamark is. I really need to re-ink it, I think. And hopefully it won't stick to all of the black. Although, now that I'm thinking about it, I probably should have used my anti-cling bag, but let's just find out what happens with this. Oh good, just stuck to the dots mostly. Alright, let's get this back into the bottle. And then I'm going to, for the video's sake, I'm not going to video this whole thing, but I'm going to try to very lightly use my heat gun and slowly melt that so I don't warp the entire thing. Awesome, it just warped slightly on the center, which means it'll lay either kind of bent like that, or if I give it that little bump in the middle, it's almost straight. It looks kind of cool. So I'm going to go ahead and figure out how I want to get this on there, and if I want some kind of something in the center there. The next thing I decided was to create a type of a cameo in here. So I found a little found a little flower stamp that I thought would look really cool, and I did on some glossy cardstock. I stamped a couple of them until I got the image that I liked, and then I cut it with a Creative Memories 3/4 inch punch so that it would fit right in there. And I do like it black and white. I somehow have to seal it in there, but I'm not sure if I want to leave it black and white or if maybe I want to add some color. So I'm going to color this one, and then I'll come back and we'll see which one looks the best. I didn't realize that it would do this, but if you look real closely, see if that's even getting... I wanted to use a permanent marker, so I used my Bic markers, and as you can tell, when the Bic marker touched the Stays On ink, which even after I had heat set it, it slurred the ink around. Smeared it up, so yeah, I'm not real keen on that. So I think I'm just going to keep it black and white for sake of time, because I think it looks really cool black and white anyway. And we can add some color with some other different type of media. I'm thinking maybe a ribbon. I'm going to take the flower and I'm going to hopefully hot glue it to the inside of here to try to make it stay so it doesn't fall out. And then I'm going to put some, what do you call this stuff? not crystal accents, but which one do I have? I have the liquid glass from Close to My Heart. So I'll put some liquid glass in there. I don't like how long it takes for this stuff to dry, but I'm just going to leave it overnight. And then we will see what happens. That looks good. I don't like to wait for the liquid glass to dry, so I typically just use UD or embossing powder, but since it's going to take me a while probably to get this done, tap it to the edges there. It looks real cloudy now, but when it's completely dry it should be totally clear. So we'll check on that a little bit later. I'm going to try to create kind of a, I want it to be roughly, but I'm just going to, let's see, kind of adhere these together and see if I can't get a kind of a ruffled down kind of look. Sometimes I don't like the way the hot glue sticks out, but I'm using hot glue because I don't want it to come undone. And I just trust the hot glue the most to keep this stuff together. So it kind of looks like a skirt. Let's see if I can get some of this. Yeah, you use a hot glue gun, and you get the hot glue gun buggers hanging all over the place. So I'm trying to get rid of. Okay, so I want to somehow wrap that around. See how it makes it look like a pleated dress? I like that look. The only problem is that somehow I'm going to have to get this glued down to the back side or to the back side of itself so that it makes a nice hemline. So I'm going to, instead of putzing with it for forever on here, I think I might actually lower it some. I'm going to try to make that work off camera and we'll see what I can do. Okay, for those of you who are wondering how I did that to make it flare out, all I did was, instead of coming from this corner and going straight down and folding it straight over like this, I just took the glue from right here and I went diagonal and then I pushed it over. So I'm going to do that one now. See if I can get a similar, it's not a real sharp diagonal, we'll see if I can get a similar look. So this one goes all the way in and then that follows that line down. And you have a little tail sticking out the bottom like that, and I just took my really sharp pointed small scissors and just trimmed that off. This corner has a little bit of a fuzz here. I don't want it to come all entangled though. So there, that's kind of cute. And I'm going to add some, I think I'm going to add these to them. I think that would really be a nice touch. Some kind of a beadwork across there. Let's see which one looks the best. I picked out some fibers from this called Bead Party Sparkly Braiding Cord, and I fringed out the edges. And it's a shiny pink and it'll kind of match that burgundy. Looks kind of cool, so I'm going to feed that through the eye of the brooch that I'm going to be putting on later. And I can't decide if I want that to go around the waist or not. It does kind of break it up and make her look a little bit taller, but so I may add that, but I'm not sure. But I did decide on these beads that I'm going to go with the darker of the colors. So they almost look brown, but they're really a deeper burgundy than the ribbon I used. And I'm going to glue them on approximately right there. So I think I'm just going to go ahead and do that. And then while I'm on here, I found some little wings. Keeping with the winged theme like I did on the other one. I don't know where I put her right now, but anyway, I think they'd look really cute like right there. But I want these to have a shine to them too, so I'm going to pearlesque these, which is this, excuse me, a lot of powders in here. Not winter white, where's the pearl one? This one is actually pearlized embossing powder. and it'll just make them a shiny pearlish color, which will play off of the colors of the fibers. So I'll come back after I've done that. I'm just going to squish them into some Versamark and powder those up and zap the heat gun on them. So right after I do these, these are self-adhesive, so I don't have to glue those down, but if for some reason, any reason I think they're going to fall off before I mail them, I will definitely hot glue them down. But there she is so far. Okay, I'll be back with the wings in just a sec. Alright, so it's been overnight, and this little charm is dried, and as you can see, it brought out some kind of a blue. I don't know if that leaked from the metal, and if you look really closely, it's cracked on all the edges, which gives it a really vintagey old feel to it, which I like. If I didn't like it, well, then I'm kind of stuck with it, or I could redo it, but I'm going to go with that. I also did put the fibers through the hole, and I'm just going to have them go like willy-nilly, hairy-nary all up like that. That's kind of the look I want. And this piece is going to go about right there in the middle, and I think that might be the end. I also did glue on the wings that I had finished previously, so they just have a slightly pearlized look to them. Actually, I think what would be really cool is if you watched my my video on doing my other little angel. Where is she? This little gal, where I added the glitter to her wings here. I'm going to do the same thing for this because I just think it is a really cute touch. And I give a little extra. But you can really hear that squeak, can't you? Probably because all of the pens that I have that are like this are really old. Which means they're drying up. So I'm going to try to do this without getting it all over the whole thing. Now, I'm hoping that this doesn't further warp the dress itself, so let's give it a shot and see what happens. Just going to clean up my mess here, and hopefully we can wrap this one up today, and maybe I can get it posted. Be right back. That ought to do it. It's got a little bit of a shine to it, a little bit of a glimmer. Okay, so we've got everything else added except for this. And I'll need to warm up my glue gun and we'll finish it off. Glue gun's ready to roll. So let's glue this on. Going to add a little bit to the top because I don't want these fibers all falling off. There. And I believe she is done. Turned out kind of cute. So Terry Urban, my friend who gave me all of these from the beginning, from the get-go. Oh, where's my little guy? He fell down somewhere. Anyway, I had a little copper guy. So Terry, this one's for you. I'm going to ship that one to you along with the little fairy. Okay? Thanks for joining me, and I'll see you later.